And we have a monk from Lebanon, Father Gregory. Next question.
The question is, you said it's very important that we don't judge our neighbor. Well, what do we do when we find ourselves judging our neighbor?
So we must remember that all of us can easily, any one of us can easily at any moment do worse things than what we were about to judge this other person for. And it is a spiritual law. I've been trying to get Father Pavlos to speak about the spiritual laws for 3 years now during his trips in America. It's the first time he's mentioned it. Something that it's unusual for people to know about this if they're not in the monastic life. There is a spiritual law which says that if you judge your neighbor for something, God will allow you to fall into an even worse sin shortly thereafter.
Oh, wow. That's right. Please sit down.
This is a spiritual law. Judge another and you will fall into a worse sin than you just judged the other for. Father Pavlos says he's wondering what the ladies over here are talking about amongst themselves. We'd like to know what it is.
Yeah, I have a question. I guess what do you feel is the most important thing as a young kid, young woman as myself? What is the most important thing to learn? And more of the religion and life in general. What do you feel is the most?
That's a wonderful question. Son Deari, τι είναι το πιο σπουδαίο που πρέπει να το μάθω? To remain, the most important thing to learn is to remain a child in soul up until your old age. And don't ever judge anybody. If you are careful of these things, you will progress greatly in your spiritual life. And you can learn this by praying for those who try to harm you. If you do these things, you will always be a child in soul.
As Orthodox Christians, what's the church's primary role in its community?
What is the church's primary role as a community?
Oh, in its community, in the community in which it finds itself.
You mean the society outside the church? The people who are not Orthodox? Oh, okay. Ποιο είναι το κυριότερο ρόλο της Εκκλησίας μέσα στην κοινότητα την μη Ορθόδοξη? Where we live in Sinai, our neighbors, the people who live around the monastery, are Bedouins, who are Muslims. But they love the monastery. And we love these people. And from the very first moment that the recent political troubles began in the Middle East, in Libya, Syria, and Egypt, from the moment that the troubles began in Egypt, the Bedouins came to us and said that this monastery is our home, we are going to defend it. And in fact, they did. They went around, they set up a guard around the monastery, and indeed, this showed us once again the truth that a friend shows his true colors in times of stress. Everybody is your friend when things are going well. But when the going gets rough, then you really know who your friends are. I feel so connected to them that even though I'm here so far away, my thought continually returns to them. I wonder where they are, what they're doing. I know they're coming to my door and saying, where is he? When's he coming back? In a few words, when you show love to another person, you enslave him with that love. And anything you ask him to do, he will do it. This is the best way for the church to show the people around, to influence the people around it, the society around it.
Yet I feel that this question is so important for us today because we live in a pluralistic society here in America with people of different faiths, whereas he lives very intimately with people who are different faith than he is, and yet these Bedouins who are Muslims, which is a religion which is totally against Christianity, these people love the monastery. And so it's something that the monastery has done to enable, or the Bedouins just feel love and respect for the monastery. So it's how do we as Christians living around non-Christians and people who are growing anti-Christian, how do we show love for them to come to the church? Because we know if we tell them how bad they are and how different they are and how wrong they are in their faith, ultimately that will not draw them, even though we think we're doing the right thing, standing up for the truth. So how do we love them and stand up for the truth at the same time?
Πώς μπορούμε να δείξουμε αγάπη όμως, καταλαβαίνουμε ότι όσα μας κάνετε πολύ μεγάλο παράδειγμα, αλλά για να καταλαβαίνουμε πιο λεπτομέρεια. Λοιπόν, πώς μπορούμε να επηρεάσουμε προς το καλό αυτούς που μένουν γύρω μας που δεν πιστεύουν καθόλου όπως εμείς. Δηλαδή, άμα τους κάνουμε παρατήρηση, τους χάσαμε. Θα πικραθούν. Αλλά πρέπει συγχρόνως να σταθούμε για την αλήθεια. Οπότε η ερώτηση είναι πώς μπορούμε να ομολογήσουμε την αλήθεια σε αυτούς χωρίς να τους πικραίνουμε. Love is the only way. Love tames even the wild beasts. Bedouins come to me for whom they know I have. As I said, I have a weakness for these people. They come to me and they ask for financial help. They call it a blessing. They call it a blessing. When I have something, I give it to them. The other monks tell me they're taking advantage of you. They're coming to you for a handout and they've got their car parked outside the gate. But especially since the time last year when their chieftains came up to the monastery and said, we have set up patrols to defend the monastery from anybody getting through with intent to harm the monastery. From that time on, I said to myself, well, look, if I have anything to give them, I think I'll just give it to them and let them take advantage of me.